Hi everybody, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. I just need to say a couple of quick things about the debate because otherwise I won't feel like I did a good enough job. Because there's a couple missing things here, like Rand Paul. Why isn't Rand Paul in the debate? Rand Paul is certainly more electable on a national stage than Christie. We'll get to that in a minute. But there's a very simple answer to the reason that Rand Paul is not at this debate. And it's entirely about this question right here.
Candidates, the man who made fighting ISIS the cornerstone of his campaign, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, is out of the race, but he joins us tonight in the audience. He says the airstrikes now in their 16th month have been ineffective. Dr. Carson.
Wait a minute. Who in their 16th month?
The airstrikes.
Oh, okay.
Now in their 16th month are ineffective. Dr. Carson, do you think Senator Graham is right in wanting to send 20,000 troops, ground troops, to Iraq and Syria to take out ISIS?
So the question is, bombing in Syria hasn't worked for the last 16 months. You know, do you agree that we need to send 20,000 troops in there? And if Rand Paul was here at this debate, he would simply say, well, the reason bombing hasn't worked is because bombing doesn't work. And the truth is nothing that we've done in the Middle East has come close to working. Iraq is a complete and utter mess. Afghanistan is a complete and utter mess, where the poppy crop has increased like 400% since we moved in there. 4 times more heroin. Yay! It doesn't work. The only people these wars work for are the war profiteers. And we can't have someone on stage saying stuff like that, can we? So that's the reason that Rand Paul isn't at this debate. It has nothing to do with the polls, because the truth is Rand Paul, right at this moment, pretty much, as far as I can tell, has just as good a chance as winning Iowa as Donald Trump does. Do not be surprised if Rand Paul comes out first in Iowa. It is entirely possible. But that's why Rand Paul isn't here, because he's the only, he's the anti-war guy. Donald Trump sounds a little bit anti-war, but he's not. He keeps saying he's the most militaristic person on the stage. So don't believe that he's anti-war for a second. But Rand Paul, that's why he's not in this debate 110%, because he would have called out this question. Yeah, send 20,000 troops. Do you know why it doesn't work? It doesn't work because the same reason it wouldn't work if someone was attacking America. If someone was attacking America, bombing America, would we just go, oh, we submit to America? We submit to Russia or whoever's bombing us? I don't think so. If someone sent 20,000 troops into America, do you think that that's going to, you couldn't conquer Seattle with 20,000 troops. Okay? You couldn't do it with American troops because the people of America won't allow it. Just like the people of Syria or the people of Iraq or the people of Afghanistan. Their home, they're not going to let you tell them how they're supposed to run it. You have to kill them all in order to make it work. And although that seems to be the direction it's headed in Syria, that's not going to turn out well either. So that's why Rand Paul's not in this. I'm done talking about that. Now, Christie, with this, give the criminals the benefit of the doubt. Shit.
Well, first off, let's face it.
the FBI director, Jim Comey, who's a friend of mine who I worked with as U.S. Attorney in New Jersey. He was the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan. He said it. There's a chill wind blowing through law enforcement in this country, and here's why. The President of the United States and both his attorneys general, they give the benefit of the doubt to the criminal, not to the police officer. That's the truth of the matter. And you see it every time with this president. Every time he's got a chance. Going all the way back to, remember that great beer summit he had after he messed up that time. This is a guy who just believes that law enforcement are the bad guys. Now, I, for 7 years, was the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey. I worked hard with not only federal agents, but with police officers. And here's the problem. Sanctuary cities is part of the problem in this country. That's where crime is happening, in these cities where they don't enforce the immigration law. And this president turns his back. This president doesn't enforce the marijuana laws in this country because he doesn't agree with them. And he allows states to go ahead and do whatever they want on a substance that's illegal. This president allows lawlessness throughout this country. Here's what I would do, Neil. I would appoint an attorney general, and I would have one very brief conversation with that attorney general. I'd say, General, enforce the law against everyone justly, fairly, and aggressively. Make our streets safe again. Make our police officers proud of what they do. But more important than that, let them know how proud we are of them.
Now, Christie, with this give the criminals the benefit of the doubt shit, shows exactly what kind of greasy turd that he really is. Okay, this whole marijuana's bad thing, you know, is just insane, and we'll have to come back to that in a minute. But, you know, he says, oh, this president wants to give the criminals the benefit of the doubt. That is entirely what our justice system is based on. He's supposed to be a prosecutor. People are innocent until proven guilty. That's what the whole justice system is supposed to be about. And if you have money, you can always prove yourself not guilty, apparently. But this is how un-American Christie is. He doesn't care about states' rights. He doesn't care about, you know, he doesn't care about this stuff. And one more thing about this, because I'm talking about marijuana, you know, these people, you know, they're like, oh, if we can just save one child. They don't care about children. They clearly want to destroy, you know, children around the world with their bombing and their 20,000 troops and their drug war. You know, how many thousands and thousands of children do you think it would save simply to legalize marijuana? How many thousands of them would never be introduced to the criminal justice system? How many, and out of those thousands, a percentage of them is going to die because we have a bunch of adrenaline junkie cops who can't, trigger happy adrenaline junkie cops. Who the minute you say something, you're out of line, and then they can fucking kill you. Yeah, if we just save one child, these people don't give a shit about your children, the future of the planet, your grandchildren. They're horrible human beings. And they don't even give a fuck about the basic principles of America. Guilty, innocent until proven guilty. Yes, we give criminals the benefit of the doubt. That's the reason they're allowed out on bail instead of just jailed. This guy, Christie, I don't know what kind of people elect someone, a greasy turd like this, but you people are scary. Seriously. Okay, so the debate is currently live on this page. You know, if you like it, I could really use a tip. Please. I'm doing a fundraiser for Mox News. Be very, very kind of you if you could put a little something in my bowl.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.